Hi guys, greetings of the day. Please welcome back to my YouTube channel for learning a subject called as engineering graphics. Now let us consider a problem which is as mentioned. A pentagonal prism, 25 millimeters heights of base and 60 millimeter axis length, rests on HP on one of its corners of the base, such that the two base edges containing the corner on which it rests make equal inclination with HP. Draw the projections of the prism when the axis of the prism is inclined to HP at 40 degree and VP at 30 degree. So according to the given question, now I'm going to show you this is called as the pentagonal prism. Now you can see the base shape is pentagon and this is called as a pentagonal prism, what you can see. Now the size of edge is 25 millimeter and the axis height is 60 millimeter. It is resting on one of its corners. When it is going to be rotated in the clockwise direction, it is going to be resting on a corner and the axis is inclined to HP at 40 degree and the same axis is again inclined to VP at 30 degree, for which we need to construct the beta because in the second position there will be a reduction in the length of the axis. Now let me show you how to do the same in your manual drawings, that is in your booklets or in your grid books, how to do the solution. Now let me show you the things. Yes, for the construction of a pentagon, what you are supposed to do is draw a line which is perpendicular to the XY line you are in book, and then mark 2 points at a distance of 25 millimeter. And afterwards, keep your protractor at both the corners, that is both the points whatever you have located, and measure 72 degree as the exterior angle, which I am going to show you now. As shown, you are supposed to measure 72 degree as an exterior angle, and after measuring 72 degree as an exterior angle, here the common mistake a student can do is instead of 72 degree, they are going to measure for an angle of 68 degree, for which there will be a irregular construction of pentagon. Please do verify whether the 72 degree angle is correct or wrong, then only you proceed further. Now after doing these things, then take your compass. Now using the compass, then what you are supposed to do is measure the distance between this point to this point, that is at a distance of 25 millimeter. Now measuring this distance, you are supposed to draw an arc like this, and without changing the radius, again keep the compass over here and draw one more arc over here like this. And after drawing these two arcs, now with the help of an intersection, that is whatever the point you are going to get at, the intersecting a point of an arc as well as a line over there, again without changing the radius, one has to draw one more arc at this location, and again with the same radius, now this point as an intersection, you are supposed to draw one more arc here. Now we have got the 5 different points. Now using your HB pencils, join all these lines as a dark lines, which I am going to show you now like this. Now upon which we can say that the construction of pentagon is going to be completed by using this method. So this is very important step, and after which we have to name the respective corners like A, A1, B1, C1, D1, E1 and ABCD at the top, and axis portion O and O1, which I am going to represent it and show it to you guys. And also we are supposed to draw the two perpendicular bisectors, and then the projectors will be drawn till the XY line, which is going to be shown to you guys now. Yes guys, now here you can see that we have marked the respective points like A1, BB1, CC1, DD1, as well as the axis portion OO1, and those projectors are also drawn till the XY line. And now what we are supposed to do is we are supposed to draw this line for a height of 60 millimeter, that is nothing but 6 boxes, that is the longer edge BA1, BB1, then followed by longer edge CC1 is supposed to be drawn for 6 boxes, and in the same fashion the longer edge DD1 is also supposed to be drawn for a height of 6 boxes. And after drawing for the height of 6 boxes, now using your HB pencils, complete this bottom base as well as the top base. And afterwards, we have to mark the respective corners as B1, A1, C1, D1, E1 as well as OO1, and axis 1, and also the top corners has A, B, C, D, E. Now I'm going to show you that, and here using your pencil and scale, make sure that you are going to draw an axis line which is going to represent in the form of a chain line like this. Now you can see guys, we have completed the namings for the bottom base as well as the top base respectively. Now this has to be rotated in the clockwise direction. When it is going to be rotated in the clockwise direction, it is going to be rested on the corner C1 dash. With respect to the axis inclination, we are supposed to draw the solution which we have to complete it. That is what I am going to show you now. As I told you, when we are going to rotate in the clockwise direction, it is going to be rested on the corner CD1 dash that we are going to show you how to complete the problem. Now what we have to do is, we have to take the D1 dash as a reference. Now using your HB pencils, now what I am going to do is, we have to locate a point anywhere on the XY line keeping some convenient distance, and that point is supposed to be marked as D1 dash, and afterwards base is supposed to be inclined at an angle of 90 minus theta. The angle theta is given as 40 degree, that is the base inclination is supposed to be inclined at 90 minus theta, that is 50 degree. Now the baseline is supposed to be inclined at an angle of 50 degrees, so that one has to keep the protractor over here and then measure a 50 degree line over here. Now after drawing a 50 degree line over here using 2H pencils as a continuous line, then what one has to do is, one has to measure the distance between these two points, that is the distance between D1 dash to B1 dash has to be measured, that is the distance between D1 dash to D1 dash has to be measured using the compass, and using the compass, then without changing the radius with D1 dash as a center, then we have to mark a point and we have to get the position of A1 dash. Now in the same fashion, we have to locate D1 dash, B1 dash and A1 dash. Now I am going to show you the completed image over there, and also whatever the image it is going to look like here, the same image has to be transferred at a given angle of 40 degree. Now I am going to show you the completed image. Now guys, after reconstructing over here, please make sure that using a scale and a pencil, we are supposed to extend this line parallelly to this line towards the XY line like this, then show that this inclination is supposed to be 40 degree. Now you can see that this inclination is showing as 40 degree to us. Now we shall continue the problem for the further step. Now to get the top view in the second stage, one has to draw the projectors from the respective front view and top views like this. So let me show you one projector how to draw the scene. Now keep your scale at the corner D dash and draw a vertical line like this. Now from the previous stage top view also you are supposed to draw a horizontal line where the corner D dash and the D where it is going to make is going to be called as the point D. The intersection point of these two lines, we are going to call this point as D. Now in the same fashion, we are supposed to draw the projector for each and every corners, which I am going to complete and show it to you guys now. Yes guys, so after which now you can see that we have marked all the respective points like A, B, C, D, E and A1, B1, C1, D1 and axis positions O and O1. Now we shall apply the rules of visibility which is as shown. Now what is the rules of visibility? The first point says that boundary lines are always visible. Now let me show you which are the boundary lines. Starting with A1 to B1, that is using HB pencils, you are supposed to darken this one. A1 to B1 followed by C1 and C1 to C, C to D and D to E, followed to E1 and then connect back to A1. Now this completes the boundary line. Now identify the visible base and make those base edges as visible line. Now when it is going to be inclined in the clockwise direction, obviously the top base is visible from the top to the observer. Henceforth, the top base is visible. The top base is mentioned by A, B, C, D, E. That is from A dash to B dash, B dash to C, C dash to A, like this. That is, these base edges, that is A, B, C, D, E, F, is supposed to be shown as a dark lines. That is what the point number 2 says. And obviously, when this base is visible, the other base is mandatorily invisible. Then that base edges has to be marked as invisible edges. Now, that is from E1 to D1 and D1 to C1 is supposed to be marked as invisible edges. But however, the edges A1 E1, A1 B1, B1 C1 is a boundary, hence it is always visible. And the fourth point, such of the longer edges either partially passing through the visible base, or partially or completely passing through the visible bases, invisible, or vice versa. Now, let us see that. Now, the longer edges C1 and E1 forms the boundary line. It is always visible. Now, if I am going to connect the longer edge DD1, now you can see partially it is passing inside the visible base over there. Henceforth, this must be an invisible edge. Now, in the same fashion, with respect to the vice versa point, now this is an invisible base. Inside this invisible base, a partially or completely passing longer edge is supposed to be always visible. Now, using this point with BB1 also, we will complete it. And then, without forgetting the thing, we are supposed to draw a chain line from O to O1 without forgetting the things. Now, by drawing the axis line, you cannot see it in your booklet, but it is necessary to draw. It is in the form of a chain line. Now, afterwards, now one can see that the inclination with respect to VP, the axis is given at an angle of 30 degrees. It is a true angle, but unfortunately, we are going to get the axis length is getting reduced, for which we are supposed to construct a beta angle. Then we have to solve the problem. Now, let me show you how to get the beta angle construction. Now, let me show you how to draw the beta angle construction now. Now, for the beta angle construction, make sure that using 2H pencils, you are going to draw a constructional line. Say, for example, 1 or 2 boxes away. Now, let me take it 1 boxes away. Now, let me draw a constructional line like this. Now, why we are going to draw this constructional line? If I am going to start a point anywhere on the XY line, sometimes the space may not be sufficient to draw in your booklet. So either a portion of this solid, the top view may cross the XY line, or the booklet is not going to be sufficient in the remaining space. Henceforth, I'm going to draw a construction line like this. Now, keep a protractor at any point. Now, let me keep a protractor at this end point, and then we are supposed to draw the angle 30 degree over here. Now, I'm going to show you that 30 degree angle over here. Now, this line is supposed to be drawn, and this line, angle between these two lines are supposed to be 30 degree. This is called as the true angle. Now, to get the beta angle, what one has to do is, now using your HB pencils, mark a point anywhere on the 30 degree line, and after marking that point, name that point as O1. I'll name that point as O1. Now, I know that the true length of O to O1, which is measuring in the front view of the first stage, as 60 millimeter. So, for which I need to locate a point over here at a distance of 60 millimeter. That is nothing but using a compass. I repeat, using a compass, measure the distance from O to O1. Measure the distance of O to O1, and after taking that O to O1 as a reference, then what one has to do is keep the compass at O1 and then just draw a constructional arc over there, and then one can locate a point over there. That point is going to be called as the true length of the axis O1. Okay. Now, from the help of a true length, take any one of the yen. Now, let me take this point as a reference. Then I am going to draw a locus of O. whatever the concept we have used in the straight lines, the same concept is going to be applied here. Now, after taking that in focus, then what one has to do is, using the compass, measure the distance between O1 to O. Using the compass, measure the distance between O1 to O, and without changing the radius, now with O1 as a center, without changing the radius, with O1 as a center, draw an arc like this. Now, wherever it intersects the line over here, you can keep a point there, and that point can be named as the actual point O. Now, using your pencil, now one can state that this is the actual point O. Now, with respect to these 2 points, that is O and O1, we are supposed to transfer all the remaining points, that is A1, B1, C1, D1, E1, and A, B, C, D, E. Now, let me show you for one point. Now, using the arc technique, that is nothing but the compass, take the compass center point at O1, measure the distance from O1 to A1 using the compass. I repeat, measure the distance between O1 to A1 using the compass. Now with O1 as the center, then what we have to do is, we are supposed to draw an arc like this. Okay, now here this arc are supposed to be generated using 2H pencils. It should not be a dot because they are all constructional lines. Now, once again, using the same compass, measure the distance of A1, but from O here. Now, from the O, measure the distance of A1. Now, after measuring the distance of A1, now without changing the radius, keep the compass at O as the center, and then without changing the radius, draw an arc like this. Now, the intersection point, we are going to call it as A1. Now, in the same fashion, we have to locate the remaining 9 points, which I am going to complete it and show it to you guys to save the time in the video over here. Yes, now you guys can see that the completed image I am going to show you now, as I told you, and then using your scale, make sure that draw an extension line which is passing from O1 to O to B, and it should be extended till this point like this. Now, why this extension is necessary? Because we need to measure what is the angle beta. For this particular problem, the angle beta is going to be measured as 41 degree. And after which, now what we are supposed to do is, we have to draw the front view. Now, to draw the front view, now as usual, how we have got the top view in the second stage, in the same fashion, we have to get the front view in the third stage, for which now we are going to project one of the corner, which is called as the C. I have not marked that C, so sorry. Now let me mark the point C over there. Now, with C as a reference, I am going to take a vertical projector like this. Now, from the previous stage, also we have to locate the corner C properly. Now, upon taking the respective corner, now what we are supposed to do, we have to locate a point there, and that point is going to be called as C dash. Now, in the same fashion, we have to project all the vertical projectors and horizontal projectors, and then we have to mark the respective points, which I am going to complete it and show it to you guys. Hi guys, now here the patience level is very important because as you know that the multiple number of lines will be there and marking the points becomes very difficult. So please make sure that you will take an extra caution to mark the points very carefully. Okay, once it is done, so once again we have to apply the rules of visibility. Now, upon applying the rules of visibility, the first point says that the boundary lines are always visible. Now, let me define what is a boundary line for this particular problem. Starting with A1 dash, E1 dash is going to be the boundary, and then followed by D1 dash, and then to a D dash, and after D dash, it is going to be C dash, then followed by B dash and A dash, back to A1 dash, which is going to form the boundary for this particular figure. And after which, identify the visible base and make those base edges as visible. Now, according to this notation, one can see that the top base is nearer to the observer. The top base is nearer to the observer. Initially, it is rotated like this, and it is rotated like this. Sorry, the bottom base is not the top base. Sorry, the bottom base, because first angle and the second angle. Now you can see the bottom base is nearer to the observer, or in blind method, the base which is away from the XY line is nearer to the observer. The base is nearer to the XY line is away from the observer. Okay. Now, the nearest base is A1, B1, C1, D1. Henceforth, A1, B1, C1, D1 is a visible edge. Make those base edges as visible. That is, A1 dash to B1 dash, B1 dash to C1 dash, and C1 dash to D1 dash as visible as. And obviously the third point says that the invisible base has to be mentioned as invisible edges. That is, the base edges which are not on the boundary, that is A dash to E dash and E dash to D dash, is supposed to be shown as a dashed line. Then the fourth point says that such of the longer edges, either partially or completely, passing through the visible bases, invisible, or vice versa. Now, the longer edges AA1, DD1 already forms the boundary, so forget about it. Now, if I'm going to connect the longer edge EE1, now the longer edge EE1 passes inside the visible base, hence it must be invisible. Then, in the same fashion, using the vice versa, inside the invisible base, whatever the longer edge which are passing, it should be visible. Now, the BB1 as well as CC1 passes inside the invisible bases. And at last, without forgetting, the axis representation has to be shown from O dash to O1 dash like this. Now, this completes the problem in all aspects. Now, I kindly request you guys, if you're having any sort of doubts, my phone number is mentioned over here. You can contact me at any point of time. Otherwise, you can comment it in the comment box. And please do like this video, share, and subscribe to all your first year engineering students. And once again, I request you, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching my videos in the YouTube channel, guys.